Hello and welcome to Q Sports. I'm Umudu Kajaga. Thank you very much for joining us. Coming up tonight, we're talking about the Gambia Football Federation. Well, at a press conference on Thursday, the GFF President Lamin Kabab Bajo said his Football Federation has gone into contract with a broadcast media partner to be able to live stream Gambia's first division matches, both male and female, in the current season, and it will go on until next season as well. But there are more questions than answers when it comes to this broadcast agreement. The expected revenue to be generated, the involvement of the teams, what's their share of the deal, what percentage are they going to get? These are all questions that we'll be asking on tonight's Q Sports. You will hear from Babukar C, freelance sports journalist, also a football stakeholder as part of Samga Football Club. We will also be talking to a Gambian freelance international journalist who is based in Sweden, Buba Jallo. You will also hear his version of the story. All that on tonight's Q Sports. Welcome and thank you for joining us in tonight's Q Sports. As we've talked about, the Gambia Football Federation have talked about going into agreement with a broadcast partner to be able to get live stream matches of our league football, that is the first division, both male and female. And they said it is going to start this current season. It will generate revenue for the Gambia Football Federation. They've even talked about a 20% of the revenue going to the Football Federation. And if it gets to the Football Federation, how is it going to be distributed to the teams? To break it down, I have with me in the studio, Babukar C, as we have a discussion. And thank you very much if you're just joining us. Well, joining me in the studio is freelance sports journalist Babukar C, who's also been monitoring these developments at the Gambia Football Federation, having a contract or an agreement to live stream both men and women's football first division matches. We are almost at the tail end of the league now. We've got almost 3 or 4 games into the second round. And here is the announcement from the Gambia Football Federation. 11 Sports being the broadcast partner, and one of Gambia's TV partners are going to do the broadcasting itself, but they would send the feeds to 11 Sports, and 11 Sports will distribute it. They said it is going to generate income. They talked about a 20% in for the Gambia Football Federation. The teams, who are the most important stakeholders in football, most of them say they are not aware of this deal. Nani, your perspective on this? They call it groundbreaking. That's the catchphrase that they've used when they were talking about this particular broadcast contract.
Thank you very much, Gajaga, for having me on the Q Sports. It's good to be back. When I saw the release some 5 days ago or 6 days ago that the GFF have signed a contract with a broadcast partner to partner our, to feature our league games, that is the male and female first division, on TV screens, and stay tuned for, the unveiling ceremony that is in 2 days' time. When the press conference was held at the Football Federation, I was watching it online, and I saw where it says, it's the FIFA Plus, and it's in partnership with 11 Sports, and 11 Sports have contracted one of the local TV stations in the country to film and send them the feed. So I was like, okay, who signed the deal? Because 6 days ago I heard GFF have signed a contract, and now they're saying 11 Sports have signed a contract. But I just want to say this is, a very good news that our footballers, will be like, okay, now I can sit home and watch our games, the game that I play, agents, it will make it easier for agents that are outside to be watching our games and be scouting players, because
it kind of market our league.
Yeah, I run a football club, every game that I play, I must hire a camera person sometimes, film the game, try to edit, get highlights, send it to agents. But if our games are being broadcast live or recorded and later played, it will give the opportunity to the agents to say, you know what, this is the link, watch the entire game, ABC. So which is good, and I think it's a move in the right direction to start showcasing our talents, raw talents, to the wider world. The biggest but, to all this is you're filming our games, broadcasting it, the rights, and I heard the president saying, or one of the presidents was saying, maybe we'll see what the contract entails. For this season, they will allow everybody to film, but come next season, there will be some regulations where, maybe perhaps you will need to pay or you will need to seek the rights before you can film it and stuff. Try to compare it with the way international standard is being done. But the question here is, this deal involves our players. Our players are from clubs, and the clubs here are the primary stakeholders. There will be no GFF if there is no football club in the country. Are they aware? Have you contacted the clubs to say, I need you for a meeting, this is what we have from FIFA, they want to come and film our games and start broadcasting it, we have 20% of this. 20% of what? That was my first question. 20% of how much?
How much, yes.
This was my question.
Even the breakdown of the revenue expected, because they said it's going to generate some income. It's going to generate some revenue. When the broadcast partner, 11 Sports, gets these games to TV screens and they call it worldwide audience, and then people are able to watch it online. And in fact, Babukar, see, those people who are going to watch it online, it's not free. They're going to pay for it. It's like how pay TV operates, like DSTV operates. To show, leagues around Africa, sometimes the Premier Soccer League in South Africa, sometimes even the CAF Champions League, they get the broadcast right. But people are paying for that.
It's not free, Gajaga. It's not free. And that's why I said 20% of how much, which is not clear. And secondly, you'll be surprised to know that even some executive members in the federation, don't know about this news. All they saw was a press release inviting the press to come to this so-called, grand launching, or, whatever name you want to give it. Then you come, the clubs were not contacted. As I said earlier, they are the primary stakeholders. They should be informed, put them in a hall and explain to them what this deal entails. Any questions that they have. I run a club. I didn't know about this. All I saw was, a press release to say you are invited to this groundbreaking launching of our games being streamed or live by 11 Sports. We're not saying it's bad. It's good that we have our games filmed, but follow the right procedures. Secondly, a local TV is contracted to film and send feeds. How was the TV chosen? What procedures did you follow? A foreign company or institutions like 11 Sports will not just come from nowhere and bump into the country and come and say, Gajaga, come and do this for me. There are protocols in every country that you go to.
Good.
How did that TV station qualify to win this huge contract, to cover games? With no problem with the TV. I mean, all the TVs that are here are doing great. I mean, all media houses, they're doing great, but the procedures, are they followed? This is my question. And Gajaga, the saddest part of this, we are playing 15 games in the first division. You're playing 17 games in the second division. I mean, first round and second round.
Yeah.
We have gone almost 4 games into the second round.
Yeah.
We're almost at the tail end of the league. Why can't this wait and you prepare it better? You want to film our games on these potato farms that we play? We don't have pitches.
Yeah, they're terrible. They're not in good shape.
You are telling us that by in 2 months, 3 months time, some of these pitches will be okay. I saw them laying a turf in Brikama and Banjul. Very good. Excellent. Why not wait to complete this league? We go into Nawetan. This country have gone almost 2-3 years without Nawetan because our pitches have all been in disarray. Allow the pitches to complete first. We play. Clubs, our only source of scouting players is from the Nawetans. And I'm pretty sure, I want to believe immediately after this league, come the rainy season, there will be Nawetan. Clubs will go prepare, better scout for players, prepare for the 2022-2023 season, then you can go into this. But you just want to jump and come, who are you trying to impress? Is it because it's election year? There are more holes to be covered than trying to jump into. The whole scenario here, the way I see it, you start this, it's not working, you leave it, go there, start that, it's not working, you move. It doesn't work that way. There are a lot of mess created by this federation that I think if you have deals like this, I would have said, if FIFA contact me to say, we want to broadcast your league, I'll say, FIFA, this is a good idea. But why not we wait for next season while I try to cover this up? apart from Gambia qualifying to the Africa Cup of Nations, what other achievement can you attribute to Gambian football?
Yeah, because even the standard of the league should be raised and all of that.
It starts somewhere. It's not magic science. You don't just jump and qualify to the AFCON. It started some 10, 20 years ago to where we are today. And now, if we were talking about proper football, you know, come on, you want to tune into 11 sports and watch proper football in our league with good quality players. What we have right now is quantity and not quality.
Yes.
They've went ahead and increased these teams.
Yeah, the number of teams in the first division.
Teams are struggling to get players. Now you'll see a player from 3rd division or nowhere straight to a 1st division team without going through the right channels. In those days, it used to be few, unless you are an exceptional talent, which is not happening no more because teams are struggling to get players. If you take out the number of players moving to Europe, the Senegals and stuff, the players that are left here, with due respect to them, you know, we have a lot of average players. So instead of increasing, fix our parks. The parks have gone 2-3 years. You go to Gunjur, you want to cry.
Yeah. I was there just a few days ago.
Busumbala, nowhere. Serekunda is one of the best players. I used to leave Kololi and run to Serekunda is to watch Nawetans. For how many years now? Contractors upon contractors. They are giving them millions and the contractors are disappearing with these monies. No legal procedures are taken. And these are things that they should have focused on than bringing us shady deals that we don't know how much is involved and just telling us 20% through the media. So we as stakeholders, our source of communication now should be through the media.
For you, Babukar, as being somebody who is a key stakeholder running a club, what are the clubs going to do? Do they send a letter of complaint to say, well, you are doing this on our behalf, but we are not very much in the picture. You've not given us much details before getting into this contract.
Unfortunately, I mean, that I am yet to hear from, you know, stakeholders. When I say stakeholders, I am included. You know, and this has been our biggest problems. There are a lot of problems happening in our football. And it's like some of the stakeholders are mute and will not say anything. Reasons best known to them, maybe they are happy with the way our football is run. But even a layman will tell you our way football was run 10 years ago and now is different. In those days, we don't have these millions coming from FIFA. Subventions used to come, yes, but in very minimal form. Now we have millions and millions coming in as subventions. Where is that money put to? There are a lot of irregularities happening from this GFF executive. But unfortunately, clubs are scared to talk, or club owners are scared to talk. Our stakeholders, you know, you will sit with them one-on-one, they will complain bitterly. But where to channel it at the right time and the right moment will be a problem. So, you know, it's sad to say, but stakeholders contribute a lot to what we are going through as far as our football is concerned. Forget about the AFCON. Yes, AFCON is all that we have to celebrate, and yes, it's happening for the first time. But apart from AFCON, our football is dead. It's dead. Football should start from grassroots.
Grassroots, yeah. That's
but
where
it's dead. You know, two things important in football, when you talk about football, is a ball and a pitch. Yeah, maybe we have the balls, but we don't have the pitch to demonstrate, you know, and scout for talents.
Yeah, even the Independence Stadium.
Where do we go?
Pitch
you see the Independence Stadium pitch?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's been overused, and then, yeah.
Are you surprised that CAF is saying it's ineligible to play games? We are going to chess to play?
Chess to play, which is completely a shame.
A lot of questions that they need to answer, you know, and I'm not surprised that they're jumping into signing ceremonies because we are 2 months or 3 months away from elections. But they should have sat down and looked back to see, you know, to try to compare what they did good and where they should have improved. They would realize that places that they should have improved or they should improve are more than what they've achieved.
Well, this deal, is it like good PR or bad PR for the Football Federation? Looking at, there are more questions than answers concerning the deal.
You know, I've read a lot on social media, people giving their opinions about this deal, but I can tell you it came at the wrong time, you know, and for whatever reason, if they think they're trying to do a good PR, they have dug a hole and trying to bury themselves in. Because, you know, any sound club owner or stakeholder, primary stakeholder, that look into this deal, you know, will know that something wrong is happening. They are not clear about exactly what is it. You cannot just come and tell us, you know, come, let's go to this place. When you go there, I'll give you 20% of what we are going to have there. Come on, we've passed that stage. You know, you are talking about filming our boys, our players, exposing them to the wall and telling me we will have in return 20%. How much is the federation having from that 20%?
20%.
How much is the teams going to benefit from that 20%?
From the 20%.
And you're talking about the male and the female league. Let them come clear and tell us. And why rushing? Why rushing to announce deals that are not even completed yet?
Because normally these things should be even projected to know the income that is going to be generated. Yes, how many people are you targeting when it comes to the subscription? Who in the Gambia follows football, are passionate about it, have the financial muscle to be able to subscribe, to watch pay TV, to be able to subscribe and watch these matches? So even, let's say, we do our own projections. If each subscriber is going to pay $10 for an entire month to watch the Gambian League, how many Gambians would
afford
be willing to...
How many Gambians can afford that?
afford it in the first place, and then will be willing to pay these $10 to subscribe to a particular channel to be able to watch the matches?
That is why I'm saying there are a lot of questions than answers. They've put themselves in a very, very, very funny situation. They have to come back, hold on to this, look into it. Yes, it's good to, as I said earlier on, to film our boys, focus them to the wider wall. But there are a lot of things that needs to be done before even going there. You don't jump from 1 to 20 and leave 2, 3 to 19. No, it doesn't work that way. There are a lot of things that a lot of mess up.
And this brings us back to quality again. You've earlier on touched about it, how we play football. You and I have been watching First Division matches. Sometimes you watch matches. Yes, when Real de Banjul play against Hawks, then you have Brikama United play against Samga, and then you have Port Authority play Armed Forces. Those are games here you see standard football, you see quality, you see goals and all of that. But there are matches where you go to and then you want to ask yourself the question, is this the elite football of this country? Yes, mind you, people will say, hey, but how did we qualify to AFCON? How did we make it up to the quarterfinals if our league? Yes, we have some good players in our league, with all due respect to them. We have some teams that play good football here and there, but sometimes you tend to question the quality of play in our league. So I think a lot of things need to be improved before we even start showcasing our league to that level.
I would have been very happy to sit down on TV watching the Gambian League on a very good pitch, in a very good mini stadium or stadiums. We don't have that. All we have right now is the Independent Stadium with a very, very bad pitch. Jarasoma. Will the contractor be traveling to Jarasoma to go and film that game and send it to 11 Sports?
Well, yeah.
Thanks to Real de Banjul or Live Your Dream, Basori, Goal Project was built by, during the era of Sidi Kinte for a training facility.
And what is not even clear is how many matches are going to be filmed and streamed on a particular day. If you have 2 fixtures.
No, not 3. We have 3 fixtures sometimes.
Sometimes we have 3 fixtures.
And the female league also will have 2 or 3 fixtures a day.
3 fixtures at different venues. And once those fixtures clash with the English Premier League, the German Bundesliga, and then other leagues, where do we stand in terms of viewership, in terms of people who are going to be sitting and watching these matches?
Honestly, there are more questions than answers, Gajaga. I think this is the timing is very wrong. It's very wrong. There are a lot of I will conclude by saying misplaced priority. This is not what we need right now. I would have loved to see if the federation announcing come 2022-2023 season, we will start streaming our games. Following the right channels. Call for an emergency.
Restructuring the league, even increasing the prize money, helping maybe players' welfare. Have a particular money.
You expand the teams. We have quantity, not quality. Teams are leaving from Basse coming to play. I love the idea of trying to decentralize
the league.
But a team leaving from Basse coming to play in Sarakunda and you give him 8,000 to and fro as transport fares, how will the team survive? So it's just a lip service of expansion, but these teams are dying. I spoke to most of them, especially provincial teams. Their transport refunds, sometimes before they get it, you have to pre-finance yourself, before they will refund you in your account, which can take sometimes months. So it's just the name of decentralization and stuff. I am so much in love with decentralization. but do it through the right way. What is stopping you from, we have 7 administrative regions, having one standard pitch in every region. You know, if Ouagadougou of Basse is playing, let their home games be in Basse. The structure is already there. What you need to do is to make sure you give them a very good pitch. Lay maybe a good turf there. Put lights and let them be playing night games, because we know in the afternoon it's hot. And then Ouagadougou will play their home games there. We have the same, you know, with Tango, LRR is okay. We have Jara Soma, you know, but CRR can have one. NBR can have one. And we've been seeing players from these areas coming and breaking through to our national teams and some of our divisional teams here in the country. So this has been the priority. Before bringing in TVs to stream and stuff, you know, what is stopping the federation from having their own online TV? When Mauritania, they took the FIFA funds that every country is benefiting and build an online TV. They have it. What is stopping you from having it? They have a very good
complex as well.
Start filming your own games, covering it, expand your media department. Let's start from there. You don't just, you know, come to the world today and start walking and talking. It starts somewhere.
And even when it comes to the streaming of those matches, they have, you know, with everything that you can question them for, they've started trying to film their matches.
They are filming First Division games. You know,
at least,
which is okay.
But
the only place they can do it is at the stadium.
The stadium, yes.
What is stopping you from giving them the required materials needed to open an online TV, have a mini studio where you can be talking about the league, discussing, analyzing about the league, filming some of these games, you know, playing it as highlights and stuff. Open a YouTube channel to start with, in fact. That's where you should start, while trying to fix the mess that you have created in the country for the past 3-4 years. The amount of money this federation inherited from FIFA, because that's the sole, you know, place of subvention, apart from government taking over national teams. The money that this federation under Kababajo have inherited, no other federation in history since 1965 have inherited. We're talking about millions and millions. FIFA have increased. Just recent in their Congress, you've seen them increasing it to 25%.
And you asked the question, where did the money
Where
go
is the
to?
money?
Yes, they talk about operational cost, you know, it's expensive to
They
run
wrote
the
to
game
FIFA on our behalf that yes, we want to play football, but we don't have pitches. We want to renovate our pitches. We have pitches here and there. FIFA approved these fundings. You go to the FIFA site, they show you that Gambia have received so amount. When you come to them, they will tell you, yes, FIFA have approved it, but we have not accessed it.
Access the funds.
And other countries have accessed it. Mauritania and others were able to access it and even hosted the Under-20 tournament. So if other countries are accessing
even Liberia were able to do something with that
if other countries are accessing it and you are not accessing it, then there's a problem. There's a problem somewhere. Why is FIFA saying it has been approved, but you have not accessed it? How much did you access? They cannot tell you. They have hired contractors, not once, not twice. You go to Gunjur, for example. I think the third contractor is right now working on the pitch. The first contractor came, they gave him money. He disappeared, did not do the work. Nothing happened. Why? If I give you my money to do a job for me and you don't do it, I'll take you to court.
And in fact, are those contractors reputable? Right? Like, are they well-established contractors?
Some ghost contractors came, they gave them the contracts, they disappeared. The second one came, disappeared. Now they're with the third person who came and saw what they were doing. They said, no, it's not good. We are going to start fresh. I am sorry for the people of Gunjur, but
I went there a few days ago and saw the project. It's almost at a snail's pace. It's the perimeter fencing that I found them doing the plastering, and then they dug a lot of ditches inside the
I will tell you one thing, they're very good with perimeter fencing.
Pipes and yes. In fact, that's the thing that they would start with.
They're very good with perimeter fencing.
Yes. And then from there, the pitch.
They categorize us as violence people. So the first thing they do is perimeter fencing. No problem. It's good. But you go to Gunjur, I'm telling you, Gajaga.
2018 to date, that's 4 years.
Thank you very much.
A contract that should have maybe lasted less than 2 years has taken 4 years.
Imagine Gunjur right now in the second division. At some point, they were second position, first position.
Yes, position. But they struggled with finance.
But I went there, they took me to the pitch that they train because the school have to drive them away. To say, you know what, you cannot train here where schools are going.
That is exactly what their president told me in an interview, to say, we struggle, you know, we wanted to do Navetan at the school. Once we started, the school drove us away.
Education first.
So
you know what I mean?
They can't generate enough revenue
if
to be able
Gunjur
to
was
finance their
playing
team.
or training in that their field, you know, well-established, built, training perfectly and coming to compete against these teams here.
These teams, and then having even home matches,
I see them sinking down now, going down now. I see them going down. I'm very sorry for them. I've been there, I've went there not once, not twice. I'm sorry, but, to cut the story short, Gajaga, I think, with due respect to them, they have tried, but their best is not enough. Let me put it this way. Their best is not enough. They've been in office 2 terms now. We are approaching 8 years into office under Kababaja's led executive. Under his leadership, Gambia qualified to the African Cup of Nations. That's super blessing.
Yeah.
I would have run and sit down in my house.
Yes, it's credit to everybody, but credit mainly to them.
During their time.
So we can always commend them for that.
That is super cool. That is super cool. But I think also, if you come to the grassroots, down here in the Gambia, the mess created is too much.
So there you go. The mess created is too much. And concerning this groundbreaking broadcast contract that they've talked about, the so-called one, if you like, we will continue to monitor and see how this contract is going to progress. And when it comes to the live streaming of our football, we all want our footballers to be sold out there in the international market, play professional football. But how it is going to happen, and there should be transparency, and the most important stakeholders, the teams, how much are they going to get, is something that we will continue to ask until we get to the bottom of it. Well, that's it on this part of Q Sports. We will continue the discussion. Well, still as part of the deal that the Gambia Football Federation is talking about, well, Gambia journalist, freelance sports broadcaster, that is Buba Jallow, who is based in Sweden, has also shared his thoughts about the deal. What does he make of the deal? Let's get to hear from him.
Well, I think I feel a bit disappointed because of they went ahead on Wednesday to bring that pressure that they'll be signing a mega contract without stating they'll be doing that together with their stakeholder, that is FIFA. And I think, this would be fair to say that FIFA is providing this live streaming so that people can also know. I was also a bit disappointed that I didn't see any football club presented in the press conference. It would have been nice to see one of the clubs like Real de Banjul, Walidan, or even some of the female teams to be represented there. But it was all about the executive of the Gambia Football Federation. You have to mind that this contract is not for them, it's for the players or it's for the clubs. So it's therefore important for them to have their consent because it has to do with their image rights. They have rights, they have things to cover. But later on, you will see that it can be beneficial to the Gambia because all players need exposure, and I think this platform will give them the desired exposure. But I'm also afraid, how can we stream our matches if we are having like 40 to 50 attendance? It doesn't look good in the eyes of the world.
That's it for QTV Q Sports at this time. Until we come your way next week, keep on sporting and bye for now.